Man, why did they need to do that? Also, I'd like to offer my deepest condolences to the librarian on this incredibly difficult day for him. Yes, Fauna is in fact graduating. We can hope that she might come back in another iteration, but Ceres Fauna, as you know her, is no more due to, who would have guessed it, management. They're just one after another, man. They're dropping. They're fucking dropping, man. It's so, honestly, like I don't wanna yuck anybody's yum, but like, I'm kind of glad that a lot of people are coming to the indie side, because as an indie, you have so much more freedom to do what you want and make your content the way you want it. And Hololive has been a really great springboard for a lot of people, but I'm sure they definitely appreciate the creative freedom, being able to do things on their own, you know? But yes, it is finally Destroy Doug December, so you can watch as much Nostalgia Critic as you want, okay? You can watch as much of the Nostalgia Critic as your little heart desires now. You are no longer, I know Council only has 3 members. It's really rough. It's really rough. 'Cause like, corporate VTubing is supposed to be about the group dynamic, particularly Hololive has always been about the group dynamic, the generation dynamic. Every person in the gen is like very carefully picked to make up for, you know, certain like, you know, like, oh, one is like everyone has a role that they fill, like in an idol group, right? And the fact that Holo Council only has 3 members now, 4 if you include Iris, but I mean, Iris was an interesting thing. Iris was interesting because they were like, oh, we're gonna like try out like a solo person who's gonna be like a solo idol, but the West doesn't care about like idol stuff as much as Japan does, but it's not great. It's not great. And Aqua graduated this year, and then the Orca girl, who I don't remember that much, but I'm sure she's great. I'm sorry. I feel so bad. I know so few JP Hololives, even though JP Hololive is the thing that got me into streaming and VTubing. Amelia Watson, Aqua, the Orca girl, Chloe, and Fauna now. It's been crazy, man. It's been absolutely crazy. Unclean Puppy, thank you for the 500 bits. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you don't know? It's a corporate VTubing thing. There is a had to be, dude. And you want to know what like actually the biggest deal? I think the thing that is like the most fascinating and like genuinely makes this a lot worse for cover than it would be otherwise, is that both JP and EN are angry about this. Because like, you know, when Niji Sanji had its bullshit, they fucking twisted the narrative, and on JP side, everyone was like, well, you know, even though the company was evil and terrible and abusive and made them all do terrible things and took and abused their talents, she didn't follow the rules that the company laid out, so like she's the one in the wrong, right? Like absolute delusional Japanese corporate culture stuff. But they're mad now. Like JP is mad. They're like, dude, the management is fucking her over. That's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Senzawa followed a brand new VTuber that no one's ever heard of before. Or a VTuber that's been on hiatus for a few years. Can you believe it, guys? But yeah, I mean, you know, maybe that's what happens when your company becomes publicly traded and you have to work in the fiduciary interests of your investors and constituents instead of being able to provide a good environment for your talents. I don't know, man. Maybe. But yeah, I mean, it matters even less because it's like, yeah, Fauna's not going to have the IP anymore, but she can just go back to streaming on her old account if she wants to, right? It's like, that's what I'm saying, man. It's paving the way of the future. Companies, idol companies, VTuber companies are kind of falling by the wayside in the traditional structure that kind of was the foundation of VTubing. It's very much becoming more about just like individuals doing what they enjoy and what is good for them instead of having a group dynamic, you know? But yeah, you heard the company would have been sold off if it didn't go public, but who would have bought it? What exactly does that mean? Hololive survives off of their music? Sony? Yeah, it is kind of similar to when YouTube was starting out and there was all those multi-creator networks, MCNs, and they all turned out to be like horrible scams. I would say that an MCN is more similar to something like Mythic, and as far as I'm aware, Mythic isn't bad. There were other groups like Mythic MCNs that were really bad, where people were just, you know, stealing money and a bunch of other terrible things. And again, we don't need to go, honestly, all right, I'm making an official announcement, okay? I will become the manager of every single indie VTuber right now, okay? Every single indie VTuber who wants to make it, I will be your manager right now. That's exactly what I'm saying, dude. That's exactly what I'm saying. They don't have the stranglehold that they once did on the VTuber viewing community. All right, here is my list of criteria you need to fulfill to become a successful VTuber. Number 1, you need to stream a minimum of 4 days a week. Number 2, stream an absolute minimum of 3 hours a stream. 4 to 6 is ideal, but absolute minimum 3 hours a stream. Number 3 is stream at the same time within an hour or two every single time that you stream. Once you meet that criteria, then you unlock tier 2 of the management, okay? Once you meet that criteria, that's when tier 2 unlocks, all right? Honestly, having a schedule does not even matter as much as streaming at the same time. Even streaming on the same days does not matter as much as streaming at the same time. Because when I'm watching streams, I'm like, oh, it's 5:30, Mint is on. Oh, it's 7 p.m. This is when Meat starts streaming. Oh, it's 11 p.m. This is when Mari starts streaming, right? Oh, it's 3. The mic is live now. You know, that's how I think about streaming. And I think that that's how a lot of viewers think about streaming too. But yeah. Would kill all that's left of Hololive Gen 1. I know, it's a rough world out there, man. You gotta actually, if you want to be a successful streamer, you gotta stream. Unless, of course, you can just live off of your residuals, but that's not very fun now, is it? But yes, you want to be a successful streamer, you have to stream, and you have to stream consistently. How much am I skimming off the top? 0%. If you follow that criteria, I will take nothing. If you follow my rules, I will take nothing from you, okay?